Hey friends, welcome back to the Motivation Mastery Series Part 2, the secret to self-motivation. If you are someone who doesn't always feel motivated, if personal motivation is your struggle, then today's episode is for you. One thing, however, I want to make very clear right from the start is that no matter what you do or who you are, there will be hours, days, and heck, sometimes even weeks when you don't feel like doing the things you know that you need to do. We all lack motivation from time to time. I want to normalize this because it's easy to feel like there's something wrong with you when you aren't motivated. Motivation is not something you have or don't have, something you're good at or not good at. Motivation is dynamic and can be cultivated. So today we're going to talk about 3 reasons why you are on the motivation struggle bus and how to fix that. So I believe and teach that motivation is the byproduct of clarity, alignment, and discipline. When you have clarity about where you're going and what you want, motivation develops. When your values and actions are in alignment, motivation increases. And when you're disciplined, you stay on track and continue to make progress, which ultimately propels motivation. Yes, it is true. Some people seem to be more self-motivated than others, and that's mostly because they already have the clarity and alignment thing figured out. They are driven, ambitious, and hardworking, but that isn't a birthright. It's a decision. Let me say that again. Motivation is not a birthright. It's a decision. Highly motivated people know what they want and they know what they're capable of. They have high levels of self-efficacy, which is basically self-belief. They believe in themselves at a high level. And you too can become a more highly motivated person. You just have to get dialed in the areas of clarity, alignment, and discipline. And that is exactly what we're going to do today. So if motivation is your struggle, listen up, because after today, it no longer should be. All right. So if you want to ignite your inner spark, AKA your self-motivation, you have to have a clear picture of what it is that you're working toward and why it matters. Clarity is everything. Clarity is everything. When you connect what you want with why it matters and how it can possibly change things for you, motivation kicks in. Let me give you an example. When you have a cruise coming up or a vacation coming up or a wedding coming up or a high school reunion coming up, and you have clarity around, I want to look and feel my best for this event, the motivation kicks in to eat better. The motivation kicks in to get serious about exercise. The motivation kicks in because you're clear on what you want and why it matters, right? It matters that you look and feel your best because you want to enjoy yourself and have a good time. You want to maybe impress some people at that reunion. I don't know. But when you have clarity, motivation kicks in. This is the first level of motivation. It's the excitement stage. The excitement over the idea of accomplishing the goal or starting something new. You experience a new level of energy and momentum. It's kind of like when you buy new exercise equipment, suddenly you are so motivated to use it every day and work on becoming more fit and healthy. Like when you get new cookware, you're suddenly motivated to cook more. When you get that new vacuum, it's suddenly your favorite household chore. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But new is motivating. New concepts, new ideas, new people in your business, new customers. New is motivating. That is why I like to set new goals. New goals create new opportunities for new actions and new results. Now, notice that I didn't say better goals. I said new. And this is like an important part of self-motivation because sometimes, we set a goal. You set a goal to lose 10 pounds. You set a goal to make $10,000. You set a goal to put $10,000 in savings. You set a goal, for something. And you maybe weren't super consistent or disciplined, or things came up or things happened, or you got your whole plan got derailed, whatever the case may be, and you didn't reach that goal. So we feel unmotivated. That kind of like, we feel like we're incapable. We feel like we can't do something like that, whatever the case may be. We harbor feelings around it, right? But the crazy thing is that sometimes what we think we have to do is set better goals than the one that we had before. But listen, if you didn't lose 10 pounds, you can't set a goal to lose 20. If you didn't save $10,000, you can't set a goal to save 20. If you didn't make an extra $10,000 or do 10,000 in sales or whatever, you can't set a goal. You want to set a new goal. It doesn't necessarily have to be better. And I love that, because when it's a new goal, it's a new opportunity for new action and new results. Doesn't necessarily have to be better. And I want you to remember that. So even if you're in a place, if you're in a rut, if you're starting over, if you're starting better, whatever the case may be, just set something new for yourself. And that in and of itself will ignite this energy that sparks motivation. So now that we've got something new, right, this new goal that we're working on, we have to take that energy and channel it into action. When we are clear on what we want, and when we're clear on what we're doing, what we want to accomplish, we establish our goals, and then we define the actions we need to take to reach the goal, right? So it's like big picture, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, actions, eat more vegetables, 10,000 steps a day, drink more water. Those are my actionable steps. I'm going to do those things every single day. And maybe like not eat more vegetables or more water, because it's not like quantifiable. Like you want to drink, my weight in water every single day. I'm still trying, guys. I'm going to eat 3 different types of vegetables, throughout the day. Like that's where you want to go. So then you give yourself those actionable things. And then, at first it's going to be really exciting to do that. Okay, here we go. Because it's a new goal, and you're going to show up in that work every single day. So that's kind of how that, when we have clarity around what we want and we establish that goal, it's real easy to figure out what actions do I need to take to get there. And that energy, that motivation is there. It's so incredible. This is why motivation is like a currency. This is why motivation is kind of like, this elusive thing where people want to figure out how to master it because they know the power of motivation and what it can do. So I have a few questions for you. Okay. I have a few questions for you. So whether you're driving right now, you're, cooking dinner, you're in the shower, you are whatever. I want you to just really think about these questions. When you think about your health or your life, your business, your finances, your future, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want to accomplish? What do you want to do? Why does it matter? What is it going to change for you? What possibilities does it create? How will that impact your overall life? You see, when we start to ask ourselves these questions, what do I want? What do I want in my life? What do I want for my health? What do I want for my business? What do I want for my finances? What do I want for my future? There's energy behind that. So why does that matter to me? Why is that so important? I want that. Why does it matter? What is it going to change? What possibilities does it create? How is that going to impact my overall life? If you think that thinking about these questions, right? Because if you're sitting there like, yeah, you know what? It does. When we start to think and we become reflective and we start to really ponder these things for ourselves, we naturally get motivated because we get a little bit excited over the possibilities of the things that we want for ourselves. And we suddenly start to see it within reach and we get excited. And if you think thinking about these questions is motivating, just wait till you sit down with the questions and really spend time journaling your responses. Not only will you be motivated to take action, you'll also be empowered because now that you've seen where this can take you, you can't unsee it. Once you see how it can change or enhance your life, you won't be able to stop thinking about it. Clarity. This is the first step to getting off the motivational struggle bus. In fact, anytime I feel like I'm starting to lack motivation towards something, working out, working on a project, eating healthy, I go back to this step right here and I regain clarity on why I am doing what I'm doing, why it matters, and how it changes things. And that literally snaps me back. It brings me back. And sometimes even new goals, new concepts, new ideas are generated. When you're lacking motivation, oftentimes what you're really lacking is clarity. You're not unmotivated, you're just unclear. We can fix that by asking ourselves those questions. Now that you have clarity, we also have to make sure that you are in alignment. This one is big. Motivation fades. Okay, we've talked about that. Motivation is wavering. It comes and it goes. And motivation usually starts to fade right about the time that your values and your actions begin to misalign. Remember, your values are who you are, and your actions are what you do. When you are in alignment, your actions speak for you. Before you can create alignment, you have to know what your values are. And I always suggest when I'm mentoring or coaching people, working with people, doing talks, motivational speech things, I always talk about like the big five, like your big five core values for yourself. And my personal values are, inspirational, honest, hardworking, creative, and dependable. And what are yours? What are yours? If you're not sure yet, that's okay, but be sure to figure it out because it matters. You have to know who you are. You have to know what matters to you. You have to know what you value. Because if you stand for nothing, you fall for everything, right? Like we talk about that all the time. So you got to figure it out because it matters. If one of my values is hard work, I value hard work. I work hard and I value people who work hard. I appreciate hustle. I appreciate work ethic. I value that. But if my value is hardworking, but I'm not showing up, I'm making excuses, I'm not doing the things that I should be doing, then my actions and my values are misaligned because I believe in hard work, but I'm not working hard. Does that make sense? Right? So if that's my value, then my actions need to be in alignment with that. When they're not, when misalignment happens, this can be a form of self-sabotage, but it mostly impacts your motivation. When you aren't being who you believe you are to be, that chips away at your motivation and it erodes over time. And it leads to a feeling of defeat and in most cases, imposter syndrome. When you are in alignment, when your actions align with your beliefs, you become intrinsically motivated. You are motivated and highly inspired to do the work because it matters to you. It matters to your future. It matters to your goals because you believe in what you're doing and who you are. If you're struggling with motivation, you may actually be struggling with alignment. You may be lacking clarity on what your values are. Because once you say, this is the type of person that I am, these are the things that I'm known for, these are the things that I value, it naturally, if it was like a caboose on a train, like a lineup of trains, like train cars, I don't know, whatever they're called, but the energy of those values is going to bump into that next train and that's going to create momentum, right? And that momentum is going to spark motivation. See, that's why this matters. Alignment is key. We have to make sure that we are in alignment, that our actions are aligning with our values. Again, you may not be struggling with motivation. You might actually be struggling with alignment. Lastly, we have to remember that motivation comes and goes because it is a feeling. And sometimes we're going to feel motivated and sometimes we're not. And as natural as that may be, this is where the big D kicks in: discipline. Discipline to the actions, to the goal, to the vision is what keeps us moving. You will not always feel motivated, as I have shared, but discipline can keep you on track even when your feelings start to fail you. And I think we have all experienced this at some point. There's times when you don't feel like working out. You're dreading it. You're like, ugh, I'd rather stay at home and stay in bed. But guess what? That doesn't align with your values. You're not that person anymore, but you do it and you go anyway. And you're always glad you did, right? We're always glad that we did. But the point is that discipline got you there. Motivation will not always get us there or keep us there. However, discipline always will. Discipline is the glue that holds all of this together. You are disciplined to work out because you value health and wellness, because you have created this notion of your identity that you are a fit and healthy person. The crazy thing about discipline is that it keeps you on track. And when you're on track long enough, that leads to progress and unlocking new levels. And this sparks motivation for the new goal, which starts the cycle all over again. You see, to master motivation is to become a master of one's self. When you master your beliefs, your mindset, clarity, alignment, and discipline is when you also master motivation. Motivation may come and go, but who you decide to be will always be. Decide to be a motivated and motivating person. Remember, you aren't lacking motivation. You're lacking clarity, alignment, and discipline. Take the time to check in with yourself in these 3 areas and watch as a wave of inspiration washes over you and motivation takes root. Leverage the energy behind the work and use it to fuel your wildest dreams. Trust me, when you put this into practice, your whole world is going to change. If you're wanting a little bit more motivation in your life or some tools and resources to help you, really muster up and master motivation, I've created an incredible resource for you called the Motivation Mastery Toolkit. I will put the link to that in the show notes. Go click on that, go download that, put that to work. Trust me when I tell you, motivation is never going to be a struggle of yours. When you put those tools and those resources to use, they're going to be so incredible. And if you want even more than that, join the Brewing Success mentoring community. We are off to an incredible start. People are loving the content. There's so much incredible value, so much amazing leadership, teaching, learning, lessons. It's just blowing my mind, like what's coming of this group. So make sure that you're a part of that. Do not want to miss out on all the mentoring, all the leadership, all the progress, and all the growth. I'll be sure to drop a link to that too. You can also DM me and I can shoot you a direct link to get involved with that group. You guys, thank you so much for joining me here on Brewing Success, where growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal.